This is the Possible Care for Dogs. The podcast begins.
Welcome to a new episode of the Possible Care for Dogs podcast.
Hi, everyone.
In today's episode, we are exploring further flat-coated retriever health, essential best practices for a happy and healthy life by Jude.
Flat coats. For all you lovers of this perpetually youthful breed out there,
Yes.
we're going to dive deep into how you can really support their well-being long-term.
Exactly. They're just fantastic dogs, aren't they? Known for that sort of Peter Pan personality.
They really are. Never quite grow up.
And just boundless enthusiasm. They bring so much joy. But as Jude's article points out, understanding their specific health risks, well, it's pretty crucial.
It really is key to keeping them healthy and happy. So our mission today in this deep dive is basically to walk you through the best health tips, focusing specifically on those breed risks.
Okay.
So let's get into it. Probably the most serious concern, unfortunately, is cancer.
Right. That's often mentioned with flat coats. Sounds like a really tough one for owners.
It is. It's a significant concern. The article mentions a study, I think it was in veterinary and comparative oncology, that shows flat coats sadly have a higher rate of cancer-related deaths compared to some other breeds.
Wow.
And specifically, it seems hemangiosarcoma. That's a cancer of blood vessel linings.
Okay.
And malignant histiocytosis, which affects certain immune cells. Those are the ones seen most often.
That's definitely heavy stuff for owners to know about. So beyond cancer, what else should people be aware of? What other common issues?
Well, given how active they are, always on the go.
Totally.
Hip dysplasia is something to keep in mind. The OFA, that's the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals.
Right. Registry.
Yeah, they really stress how important routine screening is for joint health. And that's, especially true for dogs like flat coats that just love to run and play so much.
That makes perfect sense. An active dog needs healthy joints. Anything else on the orthopedic front?
Yeah. Patellar luxation can pop up too. That's basically the kneecap slipping out of place. Yeah, it can cause them to limp or sort of hop sometimes. Jude's article notes that if it's severe, surgery might actually be needed.
Oh, poor things. That doesn't sound fun. The article also brought up gastric torsion or bloat. That always sounds really scary.
It is very serious, yeah, because they have that deep chest. It unfortunately puts them at a higher risk for the stomach twisting. And a really crucial tip here is to avoid vigorous exercise right before or right after they eat.
Okay, that's a very practical piece of advice. Super important.
Definitely.
So we've touched on some potential health hurdles. Let's shift focus a bit. What can owners do proactively, starting with, say, nutrition?
Absolutely. Good nutrition is fundamental. It fuels that energy, helps keep them lean. Jude suggests around 2.5 to 3.5 cups of high-protein food daily.
Split into 2 meals.
Yeah, usually best split into 2 meals.
And does the article mention specific dietary things maybe related to those risks we talked about, like the cancer risk?
It does, yeah. Some vets apparently suggest diets that are rich in antioxidants.
What?
The thinking there is, antioxidants might help support the immune system, maybe reduce inflammation, which could be beneficial for a breed prone to cancer.
Interesting. And what about for their joints? We mentioned hip dysplasia.
Right. For joint support, the article highlights things like omega-3s, glucosamine, and chondroitin.
The usual suspects for joint health.
Pretty much. They're thought to help maintain cartilage, support mobility, keep them moving comfortably as they get older.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And the article really seemed to hammer home the point about weight management too.
Oh, definitely. Keeping your flat coat lean is huge. There's this reference to the Purina lifespan study, and it suggests aiming for a body condition score, that scale vets use.
Right, the 1 to 9 scale.
Exactly. Aiming for a 4 or 5 out of 9. And here's the really powerful part. That study showed maintaining that lean body condition doesn't just help mobility.
Yeah.
It can actually significantly reduce their cancer risk, too.
Wow, okay. So staying lean is about much more than just looking good.
Much more. It's a major factor in their overall health and longevity.
That's a really strong motivator to watch those portion sizes. Okay, exercise. Anyone who's met a flat coat knows they need to move.
Oh, for sure. They're little energy machines. The article recommends aiming for at least 90 minutes of activity a day.
90 minutes.
And that should be fun stuff they love, right?
Yeah.
Brisk walks, running, definitely retrieving, and swimming if you can. They often adore water.
Yeah, classic retriever trait. 90 minutes sounds like a commitment, but it fits the breed. The article also mentioned training games.
Yes. Things like scent work or even field trials. They're great ways to burn energy and use their brains. Jude says they love having a job.
I bet they do.
That mental stimulation is just as vital as the physical exercise. Keeps them happy.
So it's not just about running them ragged. Got to keep those smart minds busy, too.
Absolutely. Think puzzle toys, playing hide and seek, teaching tricks, stuff like that.
Good ideas.
Yeah, resources like the Spruce Pets often emphasize this. Challenging their minds prevents boredom, which, can lead to chewing the furniture or other issues.
Right, keeps everyone happier.
Yeah.
Okay, bodies exercised, minds engaged.
Yeah.
What about those gorgeous coats? They look like they need some upkeep.
They do, yeah. That glossy feathered coat needs regular brushing, say 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay.
That helps stop mats forming and cuts down on the shedding a bit. Baths, maybe every 6 to 8 weeks, or, well, whenever they find mud.
Which might be often. And it's not just the coat, right? Ears and teeth?
Exactly. Cleaning their ears weekly is a good habit, helps prevent infections. And brushing teeth, ideally at least 3 times a week. It really helps fight plaque buildup.
Good dental hygiene is so important.
It really is. Oh, and keeping the fur trimmed around their ears, feet, and tail helps keep things neat and clean, too.
Makes sense. All right, lots of great hands-on care tips there.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, everyone, just a quick reminder, this is a good moment for you to like and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, it definitely helps us keep bringing you this info.
We've got lots more planned to help you with your furry friends. Okay, back to our flat coats. Let's talk preventative vet care. How crucial is the vet in all this?
Oh, absolutely crucial. Your vet is your partner. Annual checkups are essential, non-negotiable, really.
Right.
And given that higher cancer risk we discussed, Jude actually recommends stepping it up to semi-annual visits. So twice a year, once they hit about age 5.
Just for closer monitoring?
Exactly. Allows for more regular checks, catching things earlier.
That focus on early detection, especially with cancer being such a worry for flat coats, seems incredibly important.
It really, really can make a huge difference. Early detection often leads to better outcomes. And of course, beyond the checkups, staying totally on top of vaccinations and parasite control.
The fleas, ticks, heartworm.
All of it, year-round. It's fundamental.
Are there specific health screenings recommended for the breed, besides the cancer vigilance?
Yep. Jude's article mentions screenings for hips. We talked about dysplasia, but also elbows, eyes, and knees, like the patellar luxation.
So checking all the key areas.
Pretty much. It's all about being proactive. That early detection mantra applies across the board.
Now, Jude's piece also mentioned something about their temperament, how they mature.
Why, yes, the Peter Pan thing again. They tend to mature quite slowly.
So they stay puppy-like for longer.
For years, often. Which is part of their charm, right? But it means training needs to be consistent, definitely positive, lots of rewards. They can be quite sensitive, so harsh methods really don't work well. Keep it fun.
Good tip.
Yeah.
And they're real people dogs, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Not ones to be left alone all day.
Oh, absolutely not. They really crave companionship, being part of the family action.
Yeah.
If they're left alone too much, they can get bored, anxious. And that's when you might see destructive behaviors crop up. They need their people.
It really paints a picture of the dog that brings so much joy and energy, but needs that commitment back, doesn't it?
Totally. They're incredibly joyful, smart, deeply loving dogs. And like Jude says so well, if we're proactive about their health, understand what they need, and give them plenty of love and attention, we can really help them live these long, vibrant, happy lives.
That's the goal, isn't it? It really boils down to being informed and putting in that consistent effort.
Exactly that. Knowledge and proactive care. That's the key for these wonderful companions.
Well, this has been fantastic. A really thorough deep dive into flat-coated retriever health, pulling from Jude's great advice.
Definitely. It's clear that, with that extra awareness and attention to these specific points, owners can look forward to many, many happy years with their flat coats.
Absolutely. And now we want to hear from you, our listeners. What are your thoughts? Any questions, suggestions, or maybe your own experiences with flat-coated retriever health? Please drop them in the comments below.
Yeah, we'd love to read them.
Have a beautiful day, take care of your lovely doggies, and we see you on the next one.